Skinny, Dave Collins. So going off that poll question, going with your dad or as a father, what event would you go to today, or would you have gone to? The Reds-Astros game, the U.S. Open at Oakmont, Game 7 of the NBA Finals out on the West Coast, or would you rather sit at home on the couch and watch?
If I'd have gone with my dad was just a huge baseball fan. We would have gone to a baseball game. That's with my dad. Now, as a dad, I have 2 daughters. One played college golf, the other one's a high school golfer, and they love golf. They went to the Memorial the whole week, starting Monday through. For me, it would be being at the U.S. Open with them. That's as a dad.
Okay.
So a different answer.
Colin,
yeah, for me, definitely going to a Reds game. Growing up as a kid, I would definitely go to the Reds game with my dad. And being a father, my kids would definitely be dragging me to the game. So
wow, out of the huge events going on today, the U.S. Open and Game 7.
Yeah. And as you know, I'm an AAU and a high school basketball, right. So I love basketball. But as a dad, I know what my daughters like. They rarely go to my games that I coach. So
Did you hear that, girls?
I know. Well, I know what they do. And I love golf. I mean, I love watching them, so I'd go to the U.S. Open.
Okay, all right, so U.S. Open and Reds get a vote. So let's begin with the Reds. Let's look at the trade value here that we have, because we've gotten a chance firsthand with Lamb, Reed, and Finnegan the past 3 days, obviously in that Cueto trade, and then Duvall with the Mike Leake trade. We've been able to see some of the value that the Reds have gotten.
Well, and it's funny because at the time, people didn't think you got a lot of value in some of these trades. The Cueto trade, I think you did, but you still haven't seen the full effect of it because you don't know if Cody Reed long-term is going to be great. He was great for really good stretches on Saturday. Finnegan is looking like he's solid. John Lamb, the jury is completely still out. But you're right, you do in one trade, you have 3/5 of your rotation from one trade. You have your left fielder from another trade in which Mike Leake was not coming back here. So you've got a left fielder who's played great. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a bit. And even getting a Peraza out of a trade. I mean, they did some really good things. Not great overall, but really good things in deals that they were kind of up against the wall because everybody knew they had to get rid of these guys.
Sure, and Carl, the expectation is that they're keeping Reed in this rotation. They're not going to send him up and down for you. Is he the type of pitcher in this situation where you let him go 6 or 7 games, just see what he does no matter what?
Yeah, he's got a chance to be great. I mean, he struck out 9 hitters in 7 innings. I mean, 1 hitter an inning means you got good stuff. So for him to come up, strike out 9 hitters, went 7 innings, only threw 92 pitches. And the 2 innings he gave up runs were in the first inning. I'm sure he was a little bit nervous. And then at the end, he was probably a little bit tired in the 7th inning just because of the intensity and the adrenaline that he probably pitched with. But this kid's got a chance to be a #1 starter for me. And then Duvall, what a find that kid's been. So you got to credit the Reds scouting department on the pickups they've added to their club.
Sure, and Reed averages over 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, or he did in the minors.
Right,
so
almost a strikeout an inning.
But this level's completely different, so for him to do that.
But he was great. I mean, he was honestly great.
The last Reds pitcher in his debut who struck out that many, Johnny Cueto, when he made his debut, it was
How'd he turn out? Turned out pretty good, right?
I think he's close to 2 ERA this season with the Giants?
He turned out pretty good.
Okay, so let's switch over to Duvall. He's tied for first in the majors in home runs, 20 home runs. The kid is just on fire. Hit home runs in the minors too. What do you think of him? He's locked up for a little while because arbitration. 3 years to arbitration, so he's locked up until 2022.
Yeah, until you can't become a free agent until 2022. So, I mean, Kyle, you look at a guy like that, at that stage, he's going to be, 32, going on 33 years old. You kind of control him through his power prime.
Yeah, and you know what, when you look at him, here's a kid that took advantage of an opportunity. And there's not a lot of people that thought he would do what he's done. And to me, it just tells me he's got a great mindset. He's probably had to work like crazy to get here.
He's drafted in 2010. So,
right,
I mean,
right.
Took him 6 years. This is his first full season in the majors.
Yep, and he's had to grind it out, and when he's got here, he's made the most of the opportunity, and for him to do what he's doing, I mean, there's no telling how good this kid's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his strikeout totals in the minors, they were high. You look at the brief time in the majors, I mean, he would have been on pace last year and I think the year before, if you combined him, over 162 games to strike out over 200 times. So he does have holes in his swing, but I think he's decided, you know what, I'm a power hitter. I'm not taking one and trying to inside out one to right field. I am a power hitter. I'm going to always be a power hitter. His on-base percentage is abysmal. I mean, it's under 300 for goodness sakes. But I mean, the extra base hits. I mean, he's 4th in doubles, tied for 1st in home runs. The ball just jumps off his bat. That's a great guy to have hitting 6th and 7th in a lineup.
Slugging percentage, I think he's 4th in slugging
percentage.
Right. So when you look at where he's at right now, as an organization, the Reds, do they offer him something? I mean, I don't know if they do it this year, but do they offer him something?
I'm going to go first because I think Colley's going to maybe have a different answer. It's a business world, and I hate to be that way. I think you offer him something fair to show the rest of your organization we're fair. It's still early to do that. He has to go through this first full year, and you may even need one more full year because you're still then 2 years till arbitration. But you have to be fair. I think you show the rest of the organization you're not fair, then people don't stick around. But again, I'm not breaking the bank for him only because you have him tied up until he's 33. Power hitters about 34, 35 years old. As much as you go, oh, he's still got some years. They really don't. I mean, it won't be a huge drop-off usually, but there is a drop-off. And so you control him. I'm sorry the business world works that way, but it does. You got to be fair, but you don't got to go crazy.
Colley might agree with you. He's kind of shaking his head yes from a player's perspective.
I think if anything, hopefully the Reds organization has learned what can happen when you give guys long-term contracts and you don't have to.
And you don't have to. That's exactly
and
it.
they've been burnt. The Votto deal, look at what that has cost them.
I mean, even Phillips.
Homer
Phillips
Bailey.
A lot of money. Yeah,
Homer Bailey.
Right.
I mean, Mesoraco. I mean, they're tying up. What I like is the fact that they're willing to tie up their players and be loyal to their players.
But I think they're younger players when you know you're going to have them through their prime and maybe up to their prime and beyond. I mean,
27.
This kid's going to be, like I said, he's going to be 33 by the time he's free agent eligible. That's too old.
But he's doing what he can do. He's out there playing the
great.
best he can.
He's been outstanding.
And so, guess what time it is?
Oh.
Do you know what time it is?
I do.
Can you guess? What time is it?
Dave Collins baseball card time.
And I don't believe we've used an upper deck card.
Oh, I don't believe we have.
I think this is from your second stint with a team called the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, this might be, is this 87-ish, 80?
This is the year that Pete was managing.
Okay, yep, there you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
How about that card?
Yeah, at least they don't have me in my stance. Did you notice that?
They don't have you in the stance.
Put me in my
they
stance.
have you almost with a look of disdain, like, really, are you calling? This is where Pete called you over and said, I'm trading you to St. Louis, right?
Or he may have said,
on the DL
or it
this
looks
weekend.
like,
So
there's the stance. The back of the
knows.
card is that you can't see it, but the back of the card is the stance. That's it. That's perfect. That is and the batting gloves look a whole lot better. They're actually color coordinated. That's good, Colley.
Well, this was a later year. He probably had seen other cards and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to just step up my game a little bit.
That is true. That is true. All you, my man.
Hey, thanks
keep adding to the collection, brother. Those are great.
What do you think? Stepson over there? You want to come look at this card?
He's not in the head appropriately.
Come look.
Yeah, take a quick gander.
Come on, you come over.
You got to look at. Here's what you got to look at. You got to look at the back of the card. Is that him? All right. Can you still get?
Is that me?
Do you want to introduce him to everyone?
Can you still get it done in the cage?
This is my stepson Connor, and he is playing baseball. Good little left-hand pitcher and a good hitter, and he loves the game, and he's got a tremendous work ethic.
All right. Just
what do you think about that?
Good?
You're just shaking his head. He doesn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, happy Father's Day to both of you and all you fathers out there, and we'll be right back.